April 8th, 2021 conference meeting of the Mobile County Commission in preparation for our regular meeting of Monday, April 12th. Do we have any speakers?
Good morning, Commissioners. No one has signed up to address the Commission.
Would you like to say something? Would you like to address us?
No, thank you.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
Item number 1, consider approving minutes of the regular meetings of March 8th, 2021 and March 22, 2021. Number 2, consider approving a list of claims. Number 3, consider approving requests of Sheriff's Office to internally purchase vehicles to their fleet as follows. This request will not increase the fleet, and the Sheriff's Office will deadline 2 vehicles to be determined. Number 4, consider approving rescinding Mobile County Commission's action in the December 28, 2020 minutes. Agenda item number 13, approving EFP 11521, EFP 20721, and EFP 30221, sponsorship with USS Alabama Battleship Foundation in the total amount of $7,500, divided equally among District 1, District 2, and District 3 in the amount of $2,500 each. Number 5, approving EFP 12921 contract with the Mobile Area Black Chamber of Commerce in the amount of $7,500 from District 1 funds for operational expenses. Item number
Could I match that out of District 3 funds?
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Item number 6, consider approving EFP 12821, EFP 22121, and EFP 30321 contract with Mobile Medical Museum, Inc. in the total amount of $3,000 to be equally divided among District 1, 2, and 3 in the amount of $1,000 each. Number 7, consider approving CDP 11621 contract with Restore Mobile, Inc. in the amount of $25,000 from District 1 funds for the continuation of the acquisition and stabilization of brick and mortar restoration projects. Number 8, approving EFP 22021 contract with the Board of School Commissioners of Mobile County in the amount of $17,900 from District 2 funds to purchase playground equipment and outdoor benches for Olive J. Dodge Elementary School. Item number 9, approving CDP 11721 contract with Dumas Wesley Community Center, Inc. in the amount of $10,000 from District 1 funds for the Old Pencil Company Development Project. Item number 10, consider approving EFP 123-21 professional service agreement with Impact Public Affairs Consulting to provide additional funds in the amount of $12,392 from District 1 funds for professional services and expenses. Number 11, consider approving awarding bid to Star Service, Inc. of Mobile for BMP 2021-001, remove and replace 2 reg pack boilers at the Metro Jail Building, 1200, for the total bid in the amount of $37,875. Item 12, consider approving intergovernmental agreement with the City of Mobile relating to the city's appropriation of $250,000 for the Mobile County Soccer Complex, Phase 2. Item 13, consider approving amending the 2019 Capital Improvement Plan to create project number CIP 2019-013, Government Plaza Coffee Shop with an estimated cost of $80,000. Also approve decreasing the estimated cost of CIP 2019-007, Government Plaza renovations, ceremonial courtroom by $80,000. This amendment creates project CIP 2019-13, Coffee Shop Government Plaza, and decreases project CIP 2019-007, Government Plaza renovation ceremonial room by $80,000. 14, consider approving awarding bid to Star Service, Inc. of Mobile for BMP 2019-007 North Tower boiler upgrades and vent replacement for the total bid in the amount of $189,894. Consider approving expenses for Grand Bay Fire District Trustee Place 5 runoff election to be held April 20th, 2021 as follows. Consider approving agreement with Business Systems and Consultants, Inc. in the amount of $1,653 for annual maintenance of the microfilm scanner and reader printer for probate court. Consider approving awarding bid to Ben Ratcliffe Contractor, Inc. for CIP 2019-10 vehicle maintenance facilities for camps to include the construction of new maintenance buildings at Camp 1 and 4 for the total bid in the amount of $3,077,771. 18,
Hold
consider,
on.
Yeah.
What's 4? What's Camp 4?
that's
the one in
the,
Citrus.
4 is Virginia Street.
Virginia Street.
Virginia, oh, okay.
I had a question too, if that's, what buildings is that for? Aren't we in the process of a consideration of moving Virginia Street Garage somewhere else? Haven't we been considering trying to buy another building and doing away with that camp?
There was a consideration at one time, and that never happened, so we did move forward with this.
Okay, what happened with, because in the last 2 weeks, I've been out with some folks from looking at buildings, and I'm just curious as to what happened with that.
Who are you out with?
Steve Bender, mainly.
He knows that we're moving forward with this, so.
Well, I'm assuming he did, but I've not been made aware that we weren't going to purchase another building to do that.
We had not found one at the time, and so we moved forward with just renovating
Because, there's really not a whole lot of space over there. What happened with the location? We'll talk about it afterwards. I thought, I don't know how far we got with the building over off of Halls Mill Road, Riverty Sheen area. We'll talk about it afterwards. I don't think there's a whole lot of room for expansion right there at Virginia Street, and I would prefer to
We're not,
continue.
yeah, that's not an
To
expansion.
continue to search for a new location rather than continue to build buildings on that small piece of property. They're overcrowded there, in my opinion, so.
Okay.
We'll talk about it later.
So this has already been out for bid.
That's correct. This would be the awarding of that bid to build those buildings. I mean, we're not building additional buildings. We're tearing an old building down at Virginia Street. The old building that is in place, we're tearing it down. We're leaving the newest building in place. We're tearing the oldest building down and replacing that with a newer structure. And that's what we had been left with. At one time, the state was going to be purchasing a lot of the right-of-way and make it almost impossible to get in and out of that location. And that's why we started that process of looking around. But they've now backed that off, and they're not getting into either one of our gates that would get us into that location.
The last conversation I'd had with Mr. Hodge that we were still considering purchasing another property somewhere to.
Okay.
But I don't know. I don't know whatever happened with that. I don't think I'm ready to approve this on Monday until we make sure that's exactly what we want to do, spend this kind of money on a piece of property that we've outgrown, in my opinion.
Okay.
So I'm assuming the majority of this money is for Camp 1.
No, ma'am.
Most of it is for 4.
That's right. Camp 1 is just one building. It's 6 bays. It's one building there. I would say the majority would be to tear down the old building and put a new one up at Camp 4.
So, which one of the Camp 1 buildings?
Camp 1,
Which one of the buildings?
we're adding a building there. It would be behind the admin building.
Okay.
And it's a 6-bay garage, and the body shop and paint shop would be moving out of the Camp 4 facility. So
Right.
all of that, those vehicles that are waiting, that are wrecked and all that, would be out at Camp 1. So that would relieve some of the pressure there. And it would also open up 2 more bays in that location for mechanics and
Well,
things
I
like
can
that.
just tell you before we approve this, I'd like to consider continuing a search, or I wasn't aware that we weren't still searching, but I would like to continue to search before we do this.
Okay.
So
Yes, sir.
before we make a final decision on that, I just think we're way overcrowded. Even moving the paint and body shop out to Schillinger's Road, I still think we're still way too overcrowded at that location. Had some idea of leaving the fuel pumps there
We are leaving fuel pumps
and
there.
moving the mechanic shops and stuff to another location, but we'll talk about it later.
Okay.
Number 18, consider approving assigning Dakin Street Architects to perform professional services associated with CIP 2019-13 Coffee Shop Government Plaza. The work will consist of the design, bidding, and project administration for the build-out of approximately 486 square feet of tenant space at the Mobile County Government Plaza for the proposed fee in the amount of $8,900. Number 19, consider approving correction in the March 22nd, 2021 minutes, agenda item number 26. The item should have read, approved professional service agreement with Results Performance Consulting and Investigations for creation of a centralized employee relations model and implementation of internal investigation processes and procedures at a cost of $42,975 more or less. Item number 20, consider approving intergovernmental agreement with the City of Mobile relating to the city's appropriation of $250,000 for the Africatown Heritage House. Number 21, consider approving awarding bid to J. Hunt Enterprise for Escotaba Hollow Park and Campground Improvements, Phase 1A, Go Mesa 2015 1A, for the total bid in the amount of $4,834,642.85. Number 22, consider authorizing amendment to the subrecipient agreement with the Alabama Department of Conservation and National Resources for the Northwest Satsuma Water and Sewer Project, Phase 1, Engineering and Design, to extend the grant award performance period to December 31st, 2021. Number 23, consider approving amended Mobile County Commission conference and meeting schedule to add special meeting held April 5th, 2021 at 1:30 p.m. Number 24, consider adopting a resolution authorizing Mobile County Commission to fix the costs and establish a lien on the real property located at 7836 Carolyn Way, Theodore, Alabama, 36582, District 3, in the amount of $3,695, which amount was the cost incurred by the Mobile County Commission for the removal of debris and demolition of the said real property located at 7836 Carolyn Way, Theodore, Alabama, 36582, CDB project number MCD3 PF 18001. 25, consider approving CDP 21121 sponsorship with alumni and friends of Sims School, Inc. in the amount of $500 from District 2 funds for its annual Sims Heritage Day event. Number 26, consider CDP 21221 sponsorship with Sims Chamber of Commerce in the amount of $1,000 from District 2 funds for its annual Azalea Festival event. Number 27, consider approving investment advisory agreement with PFM Asset Management LLC for professional services, investment advisor for the month-to-month term, compensation to be based on a percentage of assets under management. Number 28, consider adopting resolution relating to small wireless facilities on public rights-of-way. Number 29, consider taking the following action on bids. Number 30, consider approving software maintenance.
I have a question
Okay.
about this. On the first one, we rescinded a bill due to the lack of employees. Did they go out of business or something?
29, let's see.
The very first item.
Yeah, I got it, 29. Let's see what it has here.
For deceased body transport.
Okay, annual deceased body transport for the bid. So it was awarded 12/17/19 to Kenmar Family Funeral Home, and I'm assuming that they did not have enough people to work there to do that,
Maybe they,
from what I'm seeing.
did they just tell us that they weren't able to perform?
Okay, let me
Well,
see
we
if
can,
there's a
you
letter.
can just check it and let me know. That was just curious, due to lack of employees, that just kinda,
Okay, I think there's a letter right
Yeah,
here.
there's a letter
Right here?
from them saying that, due to lack of employees, they can't do the, they can't do the, should be a letter.
Okay, Commissioner Ludgood, I'll make sure you get the letter.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, thank you.
How much was the bid, do you know?
Ooh, let's see.
It looks like we're re-awarding the bid right underneath that.
Yeah, let's see. Counting Kinmar, their bid was $158.94.
Okay.
And so they've gone with, it looks like, Newman's Ambulance.
What's the next off the,
Let's
it's off
see.
the same bid.
Yeah, that's the second one. So I guess there was
Okay.
two bidders. The first one was Kinmar Family Funeral Home, and the next one was Newman's Ambulance, from what I can see from the wait, hold on. Let's see. Yes,
Okay.
those are the two
Okay. That's
bids that were received. Number 30, consider approving software maintenance agreement with EJ Ward, Inc. for the fuel system upgrade maintenance under the current cooperative purchasing agreement Sourcewell number 02021-7 in the amount of $10,609.68 for the period February 1, 2021 through January 31st, 2022 for the Public Works Department. Number 31, consider approving renewal subscription agreement with Zoom Video Communications, Inc. for the Standard Pro Annual in the amount of $104.93 for the period April 1, 2021 through March 31st, 2022 for probate court. Number 32, consider adopting sole source resolution approving renewal of software maintenance contract with the Environmental System Research Institute, ESRI, for ArcGIS desktop services in the amount of $30,133.56 for the period April 1, 2021 through March 31, 2022 for the County Commission. And number 33, adopting sole source resolution approving renewal of software maintenance contract with Tracker Software Corporation, DBA Public Works, in the amount of $21,636 for the Public Works Department. And Commissioners, there's an add-on. Thank you. Okay. Add-on number 1, consider authorizing sub-recipient agreement with the Boys and Girls Clubs of South Alabama, Inc. for an amount of $30,000 for summer youth programs in Mount Vernon and Citronelle under the Community Development Block Grant, CDBG. And that's all I
Okay,
have.
each program is near here. Is each program 30, or is it 30 for the combined programs? The $30,000. So it's 15 and 15 per program. Okay, thank you. Okay. Right, anything else? Okay, Mr. Kegley, before you get,
Yes.
before you
Good morning,
get,
Commissioners.
hold on, before you get started, there are two items on here that look different to me, and I just want you to explain, so I won't have to stop you in the middle of them.
Okay.
And they have to do with Scott Dairy Loop Road and the Iberville Drive West. There's a whole bunch of stuff that we signing with the state and all of that, and I'm just trying to figure out what's different about this project. This was some new language to me.
Okay. I think you're referring to
It's 3 and 23.
3. Yes. Item 3. Well, basically, this project, Commissioner, we're using federal funds along
Okay.
with pay-as-you-go funds. And we are widening and resurfacing a section of Dawes Road from Scott Dairy Loop Road northward all the way up to just south of Cottage Hill Road. And we're doing some intersection improvements also there at Johnson Road. And we have to work out a agreement with the state for the construction and the construction inspection.
So why
And-
is the state involved? Is some portion of this a state road?
Yes, we're using federal funds through the state local
got it.
transportation
Okay.
bureau.
Okay.
And we're also using pay-as-you-go funds,
Mhm.
and it was bid by the state there in Montgomery. So
Okay.
everything has to flow through them for the federal funds, so they have to agree where they do the bid tabulation and they do the recommendation to us, and then we have to concur with the award of the bid, and we have to provide them funding with a check for our portion of it and things of that nature. But these, I think there's like 4 items on this agenda that are pertaining to that project.
Okay,
And-
that's good. What I couldn't figure out, why LDOT was in a project on a county road.
Okay. 'cause
And
we're
it's the
using
federal
Federal
component.
funds, yes.
It's a federal component of it. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Now that I interrupted you.
Okay, moving ahead.
Okay.
Item number 1, recommend changing the functional classification of the following roads as listed. And Commissioner, every now and then you'll see an item like that on the agenda, and the initial functional classification was developed way back in the mid-90s, around 95, 96. So as the county matures and grows and traffic changes and new roads are built, the classification of some roads may change. So that's what necessitates the changing of functional classifications periodically. Item 2, recommend authorizing the acquisition of the properties and acceptance of the right-of-way deeds on the projects listed. Item 3, recommend adopting resolution that Mobile County enter into an agreement with the state of Alabama for the construction on the widening and resurfacing and striping of the Dawes Road from Scott Dairy Loop Road south to D'Iberville Drive west. Also approving an agreement for the construction of that same project. Item 4, recommend adopting a resolution consenting to the annexation of a portion of the following public streets that is bounded by the territories annexed by the city of Sims by their ordinances as listed. Item 5, recommend approving the memorandum of agreement between the state of Alabama and Mobile County concerning the allocation of Rebuild Alabama funds. And Commissioners, this is a one-time agreement between the state and the county, whereby we're agreeing that in exchange for that $533,000 of federal allocation that we used to get annually, they will be providing us $400,000 of state funds, which are much easier to spend, a lot less criteria associated with them than the federal funds. So this is a good deal for the county. Item 6, recommend approving supplemental agreement number 3 with Josie Weaver for our Halls Mill Road Lees Lane project. And that will increase the cost slightly and add 3 additional days. Item 7, recommend adopting a resolution authorizing request of the Public Works Department to dispose of certain items, declare as surplus property, and authorize the items to be disposed of by lawful means. Item 8, recommend adopting a resolution that Mobile County enter into an agreement with the state of Alabama for the construction of the safety improvements on Celeste Road from Janwood Court to Taylor Road. And this also has federal funds in it, Commissioner. So we're having to enter into that agreement with them for that. Also approving an agreement for the construction with the state of Alabama for that same project. Item 9, recommend approving an agreement for purchase of wetland mitigation credits from the Alabama Port Mitigation Bank for Weaver Road East. Item 10, recommend approving an agreement for purchase of wetland mitigation credits from the Lillian Swamp Mitigation Bank for that same Weaver Road East project. Item 11, recommend assigning a contract for construction engineering and inspection services for the widening, resurfacing, and striping of Dawes Road to Volkert Incorporated. Item 12, recommend approving an Adopt a Mile program application from WNT Offshore Incorporated for the segment of Deacle Road, and that's approximately 1.28 miles. And Commissioner, just talking with the state, this Adopt a Mile program basically gives that entity permission to collect litter. That doesn't give them any other authorizations other than just collecting litter on our right-of-way. Item 13, recommend approving preliminary and final plat of the re-subdivision of Lot 1, of the re-subdivision of Lot 4 and Lot 5, Air 1 subdivision, and also the re-subdivision of Lot 6, Air 1 subdivision. That's in Commission District 3. Item 14, recommend approving preliminary plat only of Grady Place, Phase 2. That's in District 3. Item 15, recommend authorizing the acquisition of property and acceptance of the community right-of-way map for Grand Farms Road West. Item 16, recommend authorizing the acquisition of property and acceptance of the right-of-way deed from Grand Farms Joint Venture for that same project. Item 17, recommend authorizing to advertise and receive bids for Roseland Heights outfall improvements. That's in Commission District 2, yes. Item 18, recommend authorizing to advertise and receive bids for Glass Road project, one of our 2014 pay-as-you-go projects. Item 19, recommend adopting a resolution authorizing the acquisition of certain real property by eminent domain. That is on our McDonald Road Additional Lanes project, and that's track 16, Mr. Lundy.
Is that the guy with the fruit stand?
That's the same gentleman, yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, we need to move ahead with that eminent domain action. Item 20, recommend authorizing to advertise and receive bids for Grand Farms Road West roadway improvements. Item 21, recommend authorizing to advertise and receive bids for the Grand Farms Road West waterline relocation, fence reset, and driveway improvements. Commissioners, and that's all included in one plan set, one bid. Item 22, recommend approving supplemental agreement number 3 with HCL Contracting on Phil and Jim Road. Item 23, recommend concurrence with the Alabama Department of Transportation for awarding the bid on the Dawes Road project to Josie Weaver for their bid in the amount of $1,096,302.84. Also approve the payment of the invoice from the for the county matching funds to the Alabama Department of Transportation in the amount of $173,098.27. Item 24, recommend approving final plat of Chapel Creek Phase 2B and accepting the road rights of ways for maintenance. And Commissioner, that's it currently?
We have to give people permission to pick up litter off the side of the road.
Is there anything else for the good of the order? If not, we stand adjourned. Have a great weekend. Try to stay dry.